Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Kathy Jarvis, and earlier this week I posted some pictures of some vegetables that we harvested out of the greenhouse, and I was surprised at how many people asked what this was. So today I'm going to talk about what this is, how I use it, and how it grows. This is the common turnip, or white turnip. It's a root vegetable. It's commonly grown in temperate climates worldwide. It's white, fleshy taproot. There are over 30 different varieties of turnips, different colors, different sizes, different flavors, and different usages. Usually the purple top ones are the ones that you most commonly see. There are several types. The smaller ones are grown for human food, where the larger ones are usually fed to livestock. The most common type of turnip is mostly white-skinned, apart from this upper area that could be could be purple, red, or greenish. This is where the sun hits it, so that's how come there's a difference in the colors, or it could be pure white. The turnip is a hardy biennial plant, and it belongs to the mustard family. The root is roughly in a globular form. It's smooth skin. It has no hairs from it. It can get up to 2 to 8 inches in diameter, and the usually weighs around up to 2 pounds. Although in November 2nd of 2020, a man in Canada did grow one that was weighed in at a record of 63 pounds and 14 ounces. This whole plant is edible. You can eat the root and you can eat the leaves. The leaves are sometimes called turnip greens or turnip tops over in UK. And to cook this, you peel it just as if it was a potato, except for the small ones. You don't have to do that. They can be either roasted, steamed, baked, thrown into stews. Any way you can use a potato, you can use a turnip. The tops, you can use them just like you would spinach. Saute them, throw them in soups and stews. Yeah, they're good for that. You should find them in the farmer's market and stuff in the early spring or late summer. They are an excellent source of fiber and vitamin C and vitamin B6, calcium, phosphate, and copper. The greens are an excellent source of vitamin A and C, as well as calcium, iron, and riboflavin. It has been said that these were domesticated long before the 15th century. They were once quoted as being one of the most popular and important vegetable of the day, right after corn and beans. It was introduced in Britain from France by the Romans and into the United States by the early European settlers in the 17th century. In the 15th century, turnip eaters was a common term for country bumpkins. And in Charles Dickens' novel, if you called someone a turnip, you were calling them an idiot. In World War I, the German people, due to a potato harvest failure and bread shortage, were reduced to living almost wholly on turnips. In World War II, the British citizens also turned to turnips. Most of England, the smaller white vegetables are called turnips, while the yellow ones are preferred as Swedes. In the United States, turnips and Swedes are usually rutabagas. Turnips were the first thing that was carved for Halloween before they ever started carving pumpkins. This is a low-calorie food. 1 cup of sliced turnips contains approximately 18 calories compared to a potato, which usually has about 60. It's low in saturated fats and cholesterol. It's high in vitamins B6 and calcium, phosphate, and copper. It's also a good source of dietary fiber, vitamin C, and magnesium. It's kind of considered a superfood. When you open them up, they're usually white inside. The biggest producer of this vegetable in China is China, and biggest importer is Germany. So the way I like to eat these is either raw or roasted. And to roast them, you just peel them, cut them up into cubes, mix some olive oil and some pepper and salt and some garlic, sprinkle that over the top, put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about a half hour. Watch them, when they start browning up, that's when they're ready. And then just serve them as a side dish. Turnips are very easy to grow. They will tolerate moderate frost as a seedling and as a mature plant. They prefer the fertile, well-drained soil with pH around 6 to 7.5. They're usually sown directly into the ground early spring through late summer. They have very few pests. Usually the pests can be controlled by a floating row cover. Flea beetles and root maggots are the pests that affect them. They are harvested between 40 and 50 days, so they're a fast-growing crop. And storage is so much easy. You can freeze them, you can leave them in the ground with straw over them, or you can, as long as it doesn't get really freezing, 32 degrees, 95% humidity, they'll last 4 to 6 months. So I hope you have learned something about the common turnips. Hope you'll give it a try. I was quite old before I ever even tried them, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what did I miss? I really enjoy turnips, and I can store them easy. They can be stored in 32 degree weather at 95% humidity for 4 to 6 months, just like this. Or you can blanch them and put them in your freezer, and they'll store a year that away. You can, if you cooked them, you have leftovers, like you roast them or you mash them, go ahead and put those in the freezer, just like after you've cooked them, and they will last. So this is a very versatile crop. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you will. And remember, dream big and follow that dream. See you in the next video. Bye.